C8 Pate, back at you with another video. And in today's video, we're going to go over an article and talk about it, have some real conversations about why the Can-Am Ryker is not selling. So hit that subscribe button for me right now before we go on with the article. This article / post was brought to us by a guy by the name of Mark Sheffield. So I want to give him his props. His name is Mark Sheffield. Let's get into his article. Demand for the Can-Am Rykers plummets. I work with about 100 dealers across the country. One of the primary concerns brought up at every meeting is what to do with the Ryker inventory. At current run rates, most dealers have somewhere between a 7 and 12 month supply in stock. And if demand continues to falter, most dealers won't need any fresh inventory in 2025. Wow, that's interesting. Let's go on with the article. It makes sense that this segment would be hit hard. Entry-level buyer on a low price point machine, the same segment that has been hit hard by the cost of living crisis. There's also a double whammy for customers because many of the BRP Rykers purchased over the last 3 years went for all the money, plus accessories, right? So they're talking about all those aftermarket products that we bought, right? And we bought a lot. With a high rate of depreciation on the Ryker, most finance customers are deep underwater with no positive equity position anywhere on the radar. Many will own their machine until the final payment is made. Hey, that last statement is so true. A lot of us will own these vehicles until the last payment is made. Okay, now why? So you go into a dealer, you go in there today, you buy a brand new Rally, or you bought a brand new Rally last year. Out the door after they sell you on the battery warranty, the tire warranty, the this warranty, the that warranty, the think about it warranty, right? Along with the taxes, everything else. And then they hit you with that 15% interest rate. Many of you guys, even if you got decent credit, the interest rates right now, are anywhere from 10 to 20%. Now, when you go on BRP's website and you're looking these things up, they say, hey, you can get an interest rate of like 4.9. Well, you got to qualify for that. Most of you guys don't pay your car note. Now you're going over here trying to buy a bike, right? You ain't even paid your car note. Your car note 2 months behind. So what do you think your bike interest rate is going to be? It's going to be high as hell. Most of you guys are still putting down $2,000 or did put down $2,000 or less and purchased the bike. So now, and then they tricked you into maybe a 7-year loan on this bike. So you purchased it 18.5 out the door. You got a 7-year loan on this thing at a 15% interest rate. And it's like a car note. Some of you guys paying $500, $550, $575 for a Ryker. Doesn't make sense. Now, I know during COVID, a lot of you guys went and cashed out on these things with those PPP loans and cracking credit cards and other things that people were doing. So that's how a lot of you guys got into these bikes in the first place. So moving on with the article, on top of the unit inventory concerns, dealers are also buried in Ryker accessories. So that was one of the key things that I wanted to just point out, and they are correct on it. I remember when I first bought my Ryker and I was at the dealership, and I was in a dealership in Woodstock, Illinois called Jim Potts. And if you purchased the Ryker, they gave you 10% off all of the accessories. That's changed now. They give you way more off. I've seen dealers like giving away damn near 30% off the accessories if you buy the bike from them. I've seen some of the aftermarket companies, they've slashed their prices, especially during the wintertime and so on and so forth. They've slashed their prices 25 to 30%. So everything is a lot cheaper, and everything's a lot cheaper to get kind of because it's about supply and demand. People are not buying the Rykers. The Spyders are still selling. The Rykers are not selling. So get in the comment section. Why do y'all think the Rykers aren't selling? We're going to try to close the article out, real quick. So while three-wheel vehicle orders have been parlayed, the current rebates are not enough to clear warehouses. 25% off MSRP is not moving the needle. Many dealers will have to weigh whether the additional dollars for certification are worth the 14% floor plan rate on new orders. A lot of dealers may choose to terminate the three-wheel vehicle franchise so that they can remain compliant with the rest of the brands. So this is definitely true. So if somebody's selling Indian motorcycles or whatever it is, and they got Polaris slingshots in their dealership as well. Now the Polaris slingshot ain't really selling like that either. So with that being said, I just think if you have the Indian motorcycles, you got other things to focus on, your dealer may not even need the Rykers. They may not even need, the three-wheel motorcycles. They could just probably sell the other motorcycles and still make it, especially if, they're going to have to buy more land or property or figure out how to store all these things, right? It's some dealers out there that literally still have brand new 2023s that they can sell. And that's crazy. So let's continue on. I want to, go over like 5 quick points on why I think these things aren't selling. And then you guys can get in the comment section and blow it up and give me the rest of your thoughts. But let me move on to point number 1 of why I think they're not selling. Okay, so my number 1 point on why a lot of the Rykers are not selling is because the Chiefs keep winning. No, I'm joking. Number 1, it's because of reliability. So number 1 on the Ryker, it's a entry level motorcycle, right? 3-wheel motorcycle. I'm not going to say it was poorly made or cheaply made. I just think that they could have put a little bit, love and attention on the bike, because some of you guys have no problems with your bike at all. I hear from people all the time. A lot of you guys that say you have no problem with your bike, you didn't put a bunch of lights and customize and put a bunch of speakers on it. That's the reason why you're not. Now, some of this is our own fault for the people that put a bunch of stuff on their bikes and then the bikes break down. Okay, I got you. But there's a lot of people out there that didn't put much of anything on their bike, and they purchased it on day one, rode it for a month, and the bike just started acting up, and they barely had added any aftermarket accessories to it. So that's number 1. And then when they took it to the dealer kept their bike for like 5 months or 4 months. Everybody knows a friend that has a horror story like that, where they're like, look, the dealer had my bike for 9 months. The dealer had my bike for 8 months. Everybody has a friend like that, knows a horror story like that. So that's number 1. Number 2, why go buy a bike that's going to cost you like a brand new Rally, $18,500 out the door, plus a 15% or a 10% interest rate for 5 or 7 years or what have you? Why go do that when you can look online or look around in your state and find a 2021 possibly, right, or a 2020 Rally for like that has 3,000 miles on it, 4,000 miles on it or less, and you can get it for $7,000 and save yourself, anywhere from $10,000 to $11,000 on the bike. So that's kind of what hurt too, because in the beginning, we know it in 2020. Look at all these things sitting at the dealer nowadays, right? So we know it in 2020, we had COVID and everything else going on. People were doing all types of crazy stuff out here with PPP and this and that, going into the dealers and cashing out on this. When these things first hit the street in 2019, people didn't even know what it was. They thought the Ryker was the new Spider or something. Then, especially when people found out that it was automatic, oh my God, then they really wanted it. So then in 2020 and 2021, then the sales, they have this huge spike where everybody has to have it, right? People are cashing out on it with all this extra money that they've made. All these bikes hit the market, and then within like a couple of months, I've seen so many people purchase their bike in like at the beginning of the summer and sell it at the end of the summer. I saw so much of that going on in 2021 and 2022. So you buy all these bikes, you figure out you don't like the bikes. A lot of the bikes, people crashed them or whatever. You sell the bike. So now it's just so much used inventory out there. So don't nobody want the new one. Nobody wants the new one. And then even the people that have the bike, that if you've had your bike from 2019 or 2020 or whatever, a lot of times you don't want to start over with a brand new bike and have to recreate that again. Because usually you're putting $5,000 to $10,000 worth of accessories into the bike again. Most people don't want to start over like that again. So a lot of people, me currently with my Ryker, I still have my 2019 Ryker. It's paid for. I still have it. That's a lot of people. They still got their 2019 or their 2020. If you get in the comment section right now, if you still have your original bike that you purchased in 2019 or 2020, I want to see how many people have that original bike still. But you got some people trying to rent the bikes, right? Trying to rent these things, and that's a bad idea. So I've been out of town. I've been on trips with people, and somebody's rented a bike. Every time they crash that damn thing. They don't care how they ride that bike. So some people have asked me, hey, I live in wherever. Do you think I should like try to, rent my bike out when people come here, this and that? I'm like, no, it's your bike. Not everybody know how to ride this bike. I wouldn't rent it out. Get in the comment section right now if you rent your bike out to people. I have never rented my bike out to anybody, and I've had to be very careful with who I let ride my bike. Now, if it's somebody that's rode a Ryker before and they're comfortable on a Ryker and at least they have one, I might let them ride, right? If they're cool with me, friends, family member, or something like that. Some of y'all crazy as hell though, and I'm gonna say y'all crazy because it is. You guys will know that somebody crashed their bike. They crashed their own bike on it. They hit a pole. They did whatever. Like it was their fault. So the next event is coming up like a month later and this and that, and they ain't got a bike, whether the insurance company's trying to work it out or whatever. And you will loan this person that crashed their bike, you will loan them your bike. I live by this 100%. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. If they crash their own bike, why wouldn't they crash my bike? That's just my little 2 cents, right? So another reason I think that these things aren't selling like that is when people first received them and got them, like again, when you brought it home, your neighbors didn't know what it was in 2019, 2020. People know what it is now, right? That cachet isn't there anymore where some people just think like, oh, yeah. How many people do you know that they'll see you at a gas station or whatever and they ask you right away, how fast does it go? Right? They already know a little bit about the bike. So they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's only like 10,000, right? So it doesn't have that same thing of like a Lamborghini or even like a Corvette or something like that. People think like, man, do I really want to get on a bike? Do I want to get on a motorcycle? But they're not like really tripping about the price anymore. They're like, well, it's only 10,000. And if I really wanted one, I could work hard to get one. When before, when I was riding mine in 2019, most people thought the damn bike cost like $30,000. Right? I'm like, what? When I bought mine in 2019, my bike only cost me about, I think it was $8,700. That was before any accessories or anything, just the bike itself, no taxes. It was $8,700. Right? And I bought a 900 Ace and it was like some type of rebate to it or something like that. I got it for $8,700. That's really good. Get in the comment section. What are other reasons you guys think that these things aren't selling? I think that things did slow down a little bit as people started having accidents with slingshots and Rykers and so on and so forth. So I think some people are scared of them nowadays where they're just like, kind of scared of it. I've heard about enough crashes or seen enough crashes. I'm not going to buy it. Right. So on the two-wheel motorcycles, that's always been the fear that somebody's going to crash. But I feel like it's starting to come over to the three-wheel community where people really look at the three-wheel motorcycles as very dangerous, as dangerous as a two-wheel motorcycle. I don't look at it that way, but I do have friends or family members that literally, when they see me pulling off or about to pull off, they're like, look, be safe, blah, blah, because they think something's going to happen. Well, I saw one under a bus last week. I'm like, man, look, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, right? It is what it is. But I don't do a lot of stupid things on these bikes to put myself in some type of, issue of where I could get hit or so on and so forth. I don't run every stop sign. I don't run every stoplight. I'm not out here just showboating, trying to burn rubber and act all crazy. I'm not doing all that. I have fun, but I have fun when it's time to have fun in an open parking lot or there's nobody on the street or something like that. Will I go fast? Yes, but I'm not going to be like weaving through traffic. I'll go fast at, let's say when there's no traffic out and it's not wet out and somebody's just trying to race me real quick. Am I saying that's super safe? No, but Cool. I get on it for a minute. I get up to about 70. I come off of it. It's a quick little race. 70% of the time I wear my helmet. So I know some people are gonna get in the comment section, they're gonna laugh about that. Hey, honestly, that's pretty good because I know people that don't even own a helmet and they've owned this bike for 4 years and have never owned a helmet. So get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this conversation today. Let me know about other reasons you think the Can-Am Ryker is not selling, but people just ain't got money, man. People barely got money to keep the lights on at home. So why would you be irresponsible, and you got a family, why would you be irresponsible and go purchase one of these Rykers? That's not what you need to do. You need to be taking care of your family, feeding your people, not concerned with a motorcycle. And then again, this thing's addictive. So once you buy it, then you're trying to make it your own, right? So you're just buying all these accessories for it, spending all this money. And then when you get your bike the way, how many of you guys had that feeling? You got the bike, you wanted it, everybody had it. You put all these accessories into it, you painted it, you wrapped it, you put $10,000 worth of accessories on it, and got it the way you liked it. And then like 3 months later, you were kind of over it. So many people are in that. So like when you're opening up those Sling Mod boxes and so on and so forth, and that stuff's coming to your house and those Show Chrome boxes, and that stuff's coming to your house, you are so excited to get that next product and hurry up and get it put on. But what happens when you're complete with your bike? You don't have that same excitement anymore. Yeah, we like getting out here and riding. Hey, so many of you guys are in three-wheel motorcycle groups. How many people, I'm telling you, it could be a group of 50. No, we'll break it down. It could be, a group of 50. And it's a group. And you got a Facebook page or whatever it is, and you guys are actual group. You have a name in the three-wheel community, right? Out of 50 people right now, a lot of times 15 of the people don't even have bikes anymore. They either sold their bike or crashed it. They still in the group, but they don't even have their bike anymore. They're just in this whole thing because they made some really lifelong connections with people in networking and friends and so on and so forth or whatever. And that's the reason why they stay in the group. So the thing became bigger than the bikes. So for me, that's what I do like about the bikes. It created a sense of family. So what do y'all think about all this, man? Let's go to the article. What do y'all think about the article? It's a lot going on. Am I telling you guys to go out and buy a Ryker tomorrow? If that's what your heart desires, go do that. A lot of people are going to go buy the Spider. The Spiders are still selling. People are still buying Spiders. So the more expensive product, people are still buying. So people are already buying Spiders before the Ryker even came along. Now you just have an influx of people that own Rykers that just want Spiders now. So now you got that sales segment of people, right? And then you got some people that have done their research and figured out, that the Ryker is kind of like, I'm not going to say the lesser or the inferior bike, but they do look at it that way. So they're just saying, screw it. I'm just going to save up a little bit more money and I'm going to go get the Spider. Get in the comment section. Maybe some of this has something to do with gas, right? So since the gas tank on the Ryker is smaller than the gas tank on the Spider, maybe some of it has to do with comfort because you're not going to go on a 100-mile trip, 300-mile trip. Most people on a Ryker, you're going to get uncomfortable at some point, but people do it all the time. But on a Ryker, you're just way more comfortable. I'm sorry, on a Spider, you're way more comfortable. So maybe that has something to do with that. Get in the comment section and blow it up. Why did you buy a Ryker over a Spider or vice versa? And if you are selling or have sold your Ryker, get in the comment section. If you're about to sell your Ryker, somebody might buy it on here, right? So get in the comment section if you're selling your Ryker. Put the year, the miles, and what state you live in, and how much you want for it. Put it in the comment section. Somebody will blow it up, right? Somebody's going to email me at c8paid@gmail.com if they see that you're selling your bike, even if you're selling your Spider, and they'll contact me at c8paid@gmail.com, and I can connect the two of you guys to possibly get your bike sold. I don't want nothing. Right? I don't ask you guys for any money ever. All I want is for you guys to hit that subscribe button. But I think we've had enough talk for today, man. Get in that comment section and blow it up. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, my friends, C8 Pay out.